1990 was a difficult summer for the Hollywood majors. Compared to the famously memorable 1989 season, led by Tim Burton and Anton Firth's game-changing vision of Bob Kane's Batman, business was tepid. Disney's take on a detective called Tracy did, relatively, thick. Warner's new batch of Gremlins stayed noticeably dry. And Paramount stable boy Tom Cruise delivered all the thunder of a fart in a jam jar. That whole year, nothing but nothing could touch the ephemeral power of Ghost, the prettiness of a woman called Julia, and a boy named Macaulay who found himself home alone. Over at Fox, however, 31-year-old Finnish director Renny Harlin was giving Verhoeven and Schwarzenegger a run for their money with his $119 million cash grab, Die Hard 2, Die Harder. A recent graduate of the film school on Elm Street, Harlin would go on to deliver genre favourites Cliffhanger, The Long Kiss Goodnight, and Deep Blue Sea. But a whole 5 years before his notorious Pirates of Cutthroat Island sank without a trace, like an overused joke, he had an even bigger skeleton in his career closet: his contractual obligation to omnipresent, high-octane producer Joel Silver, otherwise known as The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. Ford Fairlane is the creation of Rex Weiner, archetypal journalist of the era that immediately followed the Rolling Stone. Anti-war and pro-weed, Weiner was a founding editor of the High Times, and immersed in NYC's legendary punk scene, he co-founded and published the equally legendary New York Ace. I had lost my taste for music ever since it turned into the music industry, Weiner writes in the introduction to the collected edition, which was finally published in 2018. Restless, chaotic, and hungry for something other than journalistic prose, Weiner based his New Age Detective, as the stories were originally subtitled, on his own sense of self, the fiction interwoven with the real streets, clubs, and personalities of Fear City in the 1970s. Serialized in 6 parts, the rock and roll detective's first adventure appeared in the New York Rocker in October 1979. When the creator moved to Los Angeles, so did his monster, who prowled the pages of the LA Weekly from March to May 1980. In Los Angeles awaited a fan, Hollywood movie guy Floyd Mutrux, who himself was on a roll with DJ history hit American Hot Wax, action comedy smash Freebie and the Bean, and acclaimed heroin documentary Dusty and Sweets McGee. By 1981, Mutrux had Ford Fairlane in development at Columbia. When that didn't pan out, in stepped Joel Silver, several writers, and a man the cinema scholar Kim Newman described as so foul-mouthed, sexist, hip, and obnoxious that he makes Eddie Murphy look like a Blue Peter presenter. Andrew Dice Clay was the first comic to sell out Madison Square Garden 2 nights in a row. A flesh and bone manifestation of the 1980s, no joke was too rude, too crude, or too offensive. Born Andrew Clay Silverstein, the Dice Man traded his Jewish roots for an Italian-American alter ego, giving it the full ragout with his sterling mimicry of Pacino, Travolta, and Stallone. A talented musician, the Dice Man brought the rock and roll hard and heavy to every show. A fine finale to the torment he wreaked on his lapdog male audience, who laughed unironically about their own girlfriend's genitals like spectators at a MAGA rally. In a period where the Motion Picture Association of America faced frequent challenges over the X ratings issued to films such as Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, Life is Cheap, and Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, Clay's embodiment of the controversial Dice Man character echoes more the characters created by Eric Bogosian in his one-man monologue show Drinking in America, or the play Talk Radio, which was translated to the screen by Oliver Stone, than anything of the crass comedy of that bargain basement Bill Hicks, Dennis Leary. Andrew Dice Clay is a very good actor. His performance in cult legend Albert Pyon's 1993 direct-to-video Brain Smasher, A Love Story, is as convincing and entertaining as anything he does in titles of more prestige, such as his role in Bradley Cooper's A Star is Born, playing the deflated father of Lady Gaga, or as Kate Blanchett's deflated brother-in-law in Woody Allen's Blue Jasmine. And as juvenile and crude as Adventures of Ford Fairlane gets, it is funny, particularly the running gags about the music industry, which the character's progenitor, Rex Wiseman, remains content to reflect the tone of his original stories. And the Los Angeles locations, fantastic. But clay is both Ford Fairlane's biggest asset and its greatest weakness. When Fox delayed the release of the film to raise dice awareness, a chasm in Joel Silver's summer plans cracked open, eclipsed by the success of Die Hard 2 and Roger Ebert's 0-star review of the Dice Rules stand-up comedy feature. Public interest had waned for a project that Heather's screenwriter, Daniel Waters, had tailored for this watered-down variation of the Dice Man just as heavily as Gregory MacDonald's iconic investigative reporter Fletch was tailored for Chevy Chase. In his review for The Hollywood Reporter, Kirk Honeycutt said, "This movie will boycott itself." Maybe it did. Who's to say? What would the Dice Man say? I'm not sure. Probably something like, "The summer of 1990? I fucked it. Oh!" Grindfest is happening with Celluloid Sorceress. Big love going out to Darren, Ruby, Sean and Kerry, all the Dirt in the Gate team, everybody here at the Regent. You've all been fabulous. Bop till you drop to the Adventures of Ford Fairlane. Thank you very much.